we've been here for less than 24 hours, and now we have to go home.
Hello. So we recently went on a little holiday. It's very little holiday.
Yeah.
So we were trying to go for a weekend away, take a long weekend and go to my hometown, which is Beechworth in Victoria. I love the town. It's such a nice town. There's lots to do, lots of nice places to eat and drink.
It sounds like a tourism ad.
Yeah, well, I mean, this could be.
If Beechworth Tourism Board wants to sponsor Kirsty and myself, please get in touch. But yeah, we wanted to go away for a couple of days. It's about 3 hours from where we live.
Yeah. And for Carl to go away, it takes a little bit of planning, so we had to organise a support worker, and she brought her boyfriend with her, because obviously when we're away we don't want to have someone there the whole time. Carl either needs help with
mainly mornings and nights and that type of thing.
So we don't really want someone tagging along or us feeling awkward that we're going to go off and do something and they don't have anything to do.
There'll be an awkward third wheel.
Yeah. So we organised all that, booked all the accommodation. That was all good.
Yep.
I've got to let Oscar outside.
Sorry.
One second.
Back in a minute. Oscar, you're so demanding.
Yeah, so we drove up Thursday after work, drove to Beechworth. It was about 3 hours. We ended up getting there at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And for anyone wondering what we did with Oscar, my sister looked after him because she lives down there.
Yeah, he went on a bit of a holiday as well.
Yeah, I think he had fun. So
yeah.
So we arrived in Beechworth, checked in, that was all good.
Mm-hmm.
Carl was unpacking.
Yeah, well, we had to do an emergency stop at McDonald's because I didn't eat any food, and I was getting very hungry. So we got a cheeseburger, and then very, very glamorous, we put it in the microwave when we got there at about 9:30.
Because Beechworth doesn't have McDonald's.
It's quite a small town.
It's not that sort of town.
And you know, everything was shut by then.
Yeah.
So anyway, a bit of emergency food. And then we were eating it while Zoe, the support worker, was unpacking everything.
And suddenly...
suddenly
Carl goes, have I packed the remote?
Well, no, it was have I packed the sling?
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you don't know, a sling is something like a bit of a hammock that goes underneath me, and then I get picked up with a machine, and it picks me up and puts me on the bed, or you know, in the shower and back again. And I've got a history of forgetting things, not always, but sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, oh no, have I forgotten the sling? And this is halfway through the burger at 9:30 at night.
So we checked and he had.
Checked and
we
I
didn't
had.
have the sling.
Yep. But we thought it's okay. You know, Kirsty's mum lives about half an hour away, and she kind of works in the healthcare area.
Yeah, she works at a hospital, so we were like, she'll be able to.
She might be able to find one or borrow one, or we could always, you know, hire one or something like that. So it wasn't the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then I thought that, you know, so at that time anyway, I had to kind of do a bit of a dodgy transfer and kind of get lifted and slid across onto the bed, which is not the preferred way of doing things because it's a bit, you know, dangerous for me and for other people.
Yeah.
But it was a bit of an emergency because I didn't want to sleep in my wheelchair.
Yeah.
And what did you say? You said, at least you didn't. What did you say? At least you didn't forget the.
Yeah. So last time when Carl came to stay with my family, he forgot the remote, which is the thing that makes the hoist go up and down.
Yeah.
So I said to Mum,
pretty important.
Are you able to find us a sling we could borrow? But it's fine. Carl's got he's got the remote this time.
Brought the hoist, got everything in the box.
He didn't have the remote.
Yeah, because then I was thinking a bit more. I was like, oh, did I pack the hoist remote? And so, yeah, the short story is no, I didn't. we opened up the hoist and had a look, and that wasn't there either. And by that point I was quite exhausted and you know, annoyed at myself for forgetting, but also, yeah, because it was, you know, put somewhere where, you know, didn't know it was, and then I didn't look in the box and all that stuff. Anyway, so we had to work out what to do. So what did we do then?
Well, we went to sleep, and my mum called around a bunch of places in the morning to see if there was a hoist we could hire. And I actually had a friend that was coming down from Melbourne to that area. So our backup plan was for Carl's parents to drop off the remote and the sling to him and get it off him in the evening on Friday. Yep,
because we were going to be there until Sunday, so, you know, it would have been annoying, but would have been better than nothing. And he was going to pick it up at about, you know, about 2 o'clock or something like that.
Yep.
But then, while we were having coffee at about 11 or 12 or something, what happened?
So after a fair bit of stress, to be honest, trying to sort out a hoist, working out if we do a 2-hour trip to go pick up one.
Lots of calls.
But then we have to hire it for a week and we can't return it, and lots of back and forth. So I did all of that while Carl had a nap.
A stress nap.
Because he likes to sleep in. So I was on the phone for like hours, but anyway.
Well, while you were having a croissant or whatever, yeah. But you were still very busy, so thank you.
And then we hear the news that Melbourne might be going into lockdown.
Yep.
So obviously we're really lucky to be in a position where we were able to sort of live almost a normal life. You know, we were able to go on this holiday.
Didn't have to wear masks or...
Yeah, when we were outside.
Cafes were still open and stuff.
Yeah, so we were able to... Yeah, we felt really lucky to be able to actually have a break and have a holiday, because I know it's been a stressful time for everyone. But then we heard the news that we might be going back into lockdown. Yeah,
because there were a couple of people who got coronavirus, you know, from being in a hotel, and it transmitted to other people through the air conditioning or something like that. So,
so we had a couple of hours in between sorting out the hoist and this announcement. So we got some lunch and sat down like everyone else and listened to the press conference. So before this announcement, we'd had a bit of stress because my friend needed to leave Melbourne, decided to leave Melbourne a bit earlier than had planned. So then we had to track it on to Carl's parents, and they weren't answering the phone, and they had to drop it off to him.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of stress calling them, calling the house phone, calling his mum, calling his dad, not getting onto them. So I got quite stressed just trying to sort all that out. Anyway, we got it sorted. He got the stuff, and then he was driving up.
Driving up, so, you know, about 3 hours away. And that was before the press conference where they actually announced that Victoria, not just Melbourne, but all of Victoria was going into lockdown, which meant that, you know, we couldn't leave apart from, you know, grocery shopping, and we wouldn't be able to do any touristy things which we were kind of there to do. So it meant that after organising all the stuff and having it, you know, couriered up to us by Kirsty's friend, that it was all in vain anyway, because we had to come back that night anyway. Yeah, because we, you know, even though we're in Beechworth, we wouldn't be able to do any fun things because we would have had to just stay in a hotel room, unless we went up to the local shopping centre. That's kind of the only source of, you know, leisure we could do, and that was, you know, only meant to be for essential things anyway.
Yeah.
Which meant that unfortunately we had to come back as soon as possible, because otherwise we'd be stuck. So we pretty much had to do as many touristy things as possible in a short space of time.
Yeah.
And the whole town was kind of stressing out because, you know, Beechworth has lots of tourists and things, and, you know, they were probably a bit upset about everyone having to leave.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we had to, you know, buy as much as we could from the shops and get some souvenirs.
We thought we would you know, we couldn't go to the breweries or go to the cheese place, so we thought we'll just buy it. We'll buy it and we'll buy beer and cheese and take it away, and we can pretend a little bit that we're from Beechworth. Sorry, that we're in Beechworth over the weekend. Yeah. When we're stuck at home again.
Yeah. So in the end, it maybe subconsciously I knew that was going to happen, and that's why I didn't pack the hoist remote or the sling. So do you think I could maybe see the future?
So instead of us having a nice time, you wanted us to stress for...
I didn't want us to stress.
Like 5 hours.
Maybe I just knew deep down that was going to happen.
No.
No, I don't think. I think I just forgot everything.
But yeah, so then we came home. But my dad bought us a present, which was really nice.
Yep. That was good.
He bought us...
a big stein.
A stein.
Bigger than my head.
And I thought that his idea was that we fill it with beer, but he actually just thought we could put it as a decoration.
Yeah, on the mantelpiece. Anyway, but yeah, the good news is that the lockdown, is ending tonight. So that's good news, and then hopefully we can go back on our holiday again. And the hotel were really nice because they refunded us the remaining days, which was good, so we didn't lose out on any money or anything like that. And Kirsty's friend has got my hoist remote and a sling. And currently,
that luckily Carl doesn't need it.
Yeah, and I don't need it at home because I've got a different one. But so yeah, and I'm really lucky that we didn't actually end up hiring a new one in Beechworth, because otherwise we'd have spent all this money on hiring one. And time. And then we would have had to kind of drop it off in an emergency before we, drove back to Melbourne. So anyway, exciting times.
So that was our romantic getaway. Yeah,
I mean...
We were stressed for about 80% of it.
It was fun,
But it was nice getting out of Melbourne and going to Beechworth again. Had some good coffee, and we'll definitely go back soon.
I wouldn't say a good coffee.
You said it was good.
One was good, one was bad. So mixed results. But I won't say which is which.
You trying to promote Beechworth or not?
Well, I don't know. We're not getting sponsored by Beechworth. If we're getting sponsored by Beechworth, both coffees were great. If we're not getting sponsored, one was really good, one was really bad. So
I won't praise in Beechworth community anymore.
That's the honest opinion. I'm not saying which is which. You've got to have a balanced view for the viewers. But yeah, anyway, we'll definitely be back again. And I will remember to pack stuff. Everyone has been teasing me about it. I've told all of my support workers the same story, and they've been teasing me about it. Kirsty's mum's been teasing me about it. My mum's been teasing me about it. And so hopefully I've learnt my lesson. But we'll see.
We'll let you know.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening to our dramatic story. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you want us to film when we go to Beechworth next. If you want a tour of Beechworth. Because I know someone that does really good tours of Beechworth.
And if we get sponsored, we'll, have a deluxe tour with higher production values. And I will be nicer about the coffee.
Bye.
Bye. Melbourne and Victoria is going back into a 5-day lockdown. So it's been a very, very short holiday. Very, very eventful. And we'll have to come back another day because right now we need to leave.